Hello everybody and welcome to Are You Smart? Spell It. I'm your co-host Wade, and this is your other co-host Blake. Today we are going to be talking about the world's dumbest criminals, the release of Far Cry 5 and Sea of Thieves, and we're also going to be talking about the rebranding of this show, so stay tuned, all coming up. Okay, so hello everybody and welcome to Are You Smart? Spell It. I am your co-host Wade, and this is your other co-host
Blake.
Yes. Hello. Today we are going to be going through many different topics, and we haven't made the show in 3 weeks, and the show has kind of been on leave almost. Wouldn't you say, Blake?
Yeah.
Like almost, it's been on reconstructive leave because the reconstructive leave because the show was kind of a mess. It wasn't getting very good views like on our YouTube. And then once we kind of added this whole silly thing about the world's dumbest lawsuits, the show became quite popular. Because the main purpose of the show wasn't news anymore, because the original idea... Okay, I'm just going to stop talking right now. First, we need to introduce the topics, then we'll get into the first topic. So, on this week's show, we're going to be talking about the few games that came out for the last couple of weeks that we haven't been able to talk about. I got a ton of news that we should talk about. Like, a ton of things has happened since we were gone. Like, there was that attack on YouTube headquarters.
Yeah.
There was, like, a whole bunch of games came out. The rumors about the PS5 came out. Yeah, so we might actually talk about that in this episode, or next episode. So there won't be a lack of Are You Smart? Spell It. Technically, I would say that we took a break, and we're now back. And this show takes many breaks. Like, this show's not very consistent. So that's me and Blake's goal, is we're trying to make it more weekly and consistent, because the show is kind of difficult to record, so which doesn't make it very consistent. But it's consistent now. So that's good. And Blake, I did not mean to FaceTime you just now. I accidentally hit the phone. Yeah, all of a sudden I just go, oh shit, I'm FaceTiming Blake. and then you went like completely silent, and I was like, oh no. Okay. So, without that, and we're going to be doing the world's dumbest, like we always do in this show. We're going to be doing the world's dumbest criminals, going along with the world's dumbest 911 calls and the world's dumbest, what was the first one? World's dumbest lawsuits. So, we might run out of the world's dumbest eventually, but for now, we got plenty. Because there's a lot of dumb people in the world.
Don't worry about that for now.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb people in the world. There's not a lot of smart people. Anyways, so without further ado...
But that's why you're watching our podcast, because it's called Are You Smart? Spell It.
Yeah, so, like, Are You Smart? Spell It? That should be, like, the intro. Like, after the intro comes, we go, hey, are you smart? Spell it. And then people get cringed and leave the show. Without further ado, Blake, would you like to introduce the first topic about the rebranding of the once known as the Friday News Show?
Sure, yeah. So, well, as we've already said, and as you can already tell, we changed the name to Are You Smart? Spell It. And...
With Wade and Blake. Are You Smart? Spell It with Wade and Blake.
Yeah, with Wade and Blake, of course. Why wouldn't it be with Wade and Blake? Come on.
Yeah.
Who else would it be with? Your favorite YouTube channel.
Yeah,
the YouTube only pure fun channel.
You gotta brand yourself in the intro for it to be good.
So Wade, what led you to change the name of the Friday News Show or our podcast?
Yeah, so as Blake says, like, one day I just kind of texted Blake and I was like, hey, what do you think about this as the name of the Friday News Show? Because, pretty much what happened was, we started doing the world's dumbest segment on the Friday News Show, which means it wasn't really a news show. And the one episode where we talked about, like, no news, we just talked about whatever the hell we wanted to on the show, it was actually, like, better than when we talked about news. So, we have specific topics to kind of follow along, but most of the time we just talk about whatever the hell we want to. So if we say that we're going to talk about something in the show and then we never talk about it, that's why, because we just get carried away. But anyways, pretty much the show had no news content and was kind of misleading in the title and was not doing very well because our YouTube channel is branded as YouTube's only pure fun channel. So if you're going to have a pure fun channel, you might as well have a pure fun podcast. So
yeah,
that's why we changed it to Are You Smart Spell It. And Blake, you want to run us through what Are You Smart Spell It will be bringing now instead of news?
I mean, I don't know. It'll be bringing whatever we want, as you said. It's pure fun. It'll be bringing you all the fun news, fun comedic, horror. I don't know, whatever we feel like, guys.
Yeah, and I can announce right now that on Friday, the 27th of April, which is the release date of Avengers Infinity War, we will be recording a full episode of Are You Smart Spell It, and we will be reviewing the movie, spoiler and non-spoiler.
Yes, spoilers for days.
Yeah.
Make sure you've seen the film before you watch Are You Smart Spell It on that Friday.
Yeah, there might be like a very brief non-spoilers part, like either you should see it, it's a good movie, or you should not see it, it's a shit movie.
Nah, I think it'll only be the first one. I don't think we'll say the second.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, I don't know how they could screw this up, honestly.
I don't know. But
they have screwed up much worse. They screwed up, I don't know. They screwed up a lot of movies. Without further ado, so everybody, make sure to, if you've seen Avengers Infinity War, come tune in on the 27th of April, which is a Friday, to listen to the Friday News Show. We're going to the 3 o'clock show, so then we can...
Not the Friday News Show.
Oh, Are You Smart Spell It? Yes. I'm so used to saying the Friday News Show. Are You Smart Spell It? So then you can hear all the greatest news. And this is actually, the name change is actually a break. Like, we're just telling this to our YouTube channel right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for the last, I changed it 2.5 weeks ago. But for the last 2 weeks in the comments, it's still like, go to youtube.com/The Friday News Show to find the podcast, which doesn't exist. If you look it up on iTunes, I had to hide the podcast for a while because I had to go through all like the changes of the names and everything like that. But now the podcast is back up, and if you look it up, well, let's see how it works. If I go into my podcasts and I go to search and I look up Are You Smart? Are ye with an I? Are you smart? Spell it. There you go. Are You Smart Spell It? Are You Smart Spell It with Wade and Blake. So if you still like the Friday News Show, well, too bad. But you can go back and listen to the first 5 episodes on you can go back and listen to the first 5 episodes on SoundCloud or iTunes. I'm not going to take them down, but they're just listed as the old podcast, not the new podcast. I guess the last episode of this that we posted was March 1st.
Oh, jeez. The
That's
last
what it
episode
says.
of the Friday News Show?
Yeah, it was March 1st. This is so sporadic.
It's been a
Look,
long time.
January 11th, January 25th, February 22nd, and March 1st.
Oh, jeez. We really need to get on this. Become more consistent for you guys.
Yeah.
Because now that you guys are pumped for, I guess, maybe season 2, like a rebirth of this podcast with Smart Spell It.
Yeah, it's like a mid-season rebirth. It's like the PlayStation Pro. We had like a decent podcast, and now we're bringing it back. I guess I never realized I wrote this. It says description. Are You Smart Spell It is where we go over the world's dumbest thing every week. Huh? Wow. I also changed
it isn't a lie.
No, it isn't. I also changed our category from from news to comedy, so that's all good. Actually, if you guys are on SoundCloud, the last episode of the Friday News Show was actually trending on #comedy. So that's good. I mean, it wasn't top 10 trending. It was like on number 400 or something like that. But
we're getting up there.
We're getting up there. Podcasts will make us famous. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get on our first topic, which I'm going to be letting Blake lead because Blake has led Sea of Thieves, but I'm going to be asking him honest questions as someone who has only watched gameplay and heard the news of Sea of Thieves. So, first of all, is the game good or bad?
Oh, the game, I love it. Personally, me playing it and me always having been stuck with an Xbox. Yes, I know you PlayStation fanboys hating on me already. But yes, I have an Xbox, so luckily I was able to get it. Sadly, Wade can't because he's pro PlayStation. He's anti Xbox over here.
I'm planning to get it on the PC if I can. Because there is cross console supported once it becomes cheaper.
But yeah, I love it. Like, most people, when they look at a game, they're like, oh, good graphics. If it's not good graphics, they turn away from the game and they're like, oh, I don't like the game. But the graphics are nice. They're smooth. They're, like, easy on the eyes. So, I like that. And like, day of release, it was really buggy, really glitchy. Yes, I'll give it that. But most games are like that. So, like, I'm not saying it's bad because of it, but it's really fun because there's like 3 different modes. There's like 3 different types for whatever your playstyle is. There's the nice, easy, like kind of merchant quest where you go around and you have to collect animals and stuff like that and bring them back and sell them, or crates or boxes. And then there's, for the aggressive players, you have bounty quests where you fight computers or AI such as skeletons. And the final quest is probably for everyone watching here, for some intelligent people or some people who love themselves some riddles, because you have some gold, like treasure hunts ones, where you get given a map and there's riddles on them and you have to follow them to find the treasure. But besides that, like, yes, that's the main part of the game, and every time you beat that, you level up. But my favorite thing would be the multiplayer and player versus player combat. It is so much fun, and it feels so good when you are versing another ship and you just shred it with cannonballs and they just sink. Or what you get
eaten by a shark.
Oh my goodness. Or you can take like a gunpowder barrel and you can sneak onto the enemy ship, and when you blow it up, it'll like make massive amounts of holes and they'll just start taking endless amounts of water. But my experiences with taking out other ships has been insane. Literally, I always queue up with like a couple other of our friends, me and Wade's friends, and we all like play together. So we get a full galleon crew, and every time we've taken out a ship, we've gotten like $10,000 worth of items and loot and stuff like that. So it's really fun, and like, the one thing that's bad is when you get XP and gold, it doesn't really reward you that much. Like, you get gold and you can use that gold to buy aesthetics, but that's it. That's the one thing that the game, it could be off-putting a little bit. But then again, I like that as well, because I feel if they did some sort of upgrade system, like upgrade you so you are stronger, or upgrade you so your ship is stronger, I feel like that would be a little unfair when it comes to the multiplayer, because you'd have to go up against like a level 50 ship when you're just starting off a level 1 ship, and you kind of get bullied by all the players that have been playing since the start. So I think they have a really good setup and really good mechanics. It's not too unbalanced. It's not too unfair. It's a really fun, enjoyable game.
Yeah, and I mean, Sea of Thieves is like I was gonna buy the game the day it came out, but then I learned my lesson because I was listening. I was watching a Boogie 2988 video, and he was talking about Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I was gonna buy the game, and then I went, wait, what if I buy this game and it has a loot box system like Star Wars Battlefront 2? And then I was like,
no loot box. Loot box free.
Yeah, so then I was like, I'm not gonna buy the game until the actual reviews come in, and it maybe goes down in price. Then I'll buy the game, because then I'll know I am making a safe and good purchase.
Geez, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Oh.
Yeah, hey, the game is fixed, semi. I mean, the developers of the game originally wanted to have no loot box system, and then EA was like, hey, where's the loot box system? And that they kind of want to have a loot box system like based like Overwatch kind of does, like just with cosmetic stuff like that. And then EA was like, we need to make more money. Put in a full loot box system where you have to buy almost everything in the game. And then the developers were like, fine. So then they did it. But then it caused like massive issues. And the game is now $20 on Steam. So that's good.
What, Star Wars Battlefront 2?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It launched at $80 and now it's $20 on Steam.
Oh my goodness, it hasn't even been a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
The loot box system ruined their game. I think we can say that. I think that's okay to say. Jeez.
Yeah. So because EA was losing money on the game anyways, they just said, hey, to the developers, you can return it back to whatever game you want. So the developers updated the game, and now there's no more loot box system anymore. So everybody who like bought with loot boxes, you still have your stuff, but there's an upgradable system, so you can get the stuff that you had in loot boxes, but it's like through in game, like just playing the game.
Okay. I mean, that is good.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront has fallen, like the last two games have just fallen under so much scrutiny. Like the first one fell under scrutiny when they said that they weren't going to release a story mode. The entire game was going to be online. And then this one, they're like, oh, we're going to release a story mode. And everybody's like, that's awesome. But then they just messed it up.
Oh, with the loot boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, so going back to Sea of Thieves, I gotta say that, like, I feel like that's something that Rare is hated on way too much. The fact that when they released the game, most people considered it broken. Because in Canada, it was like the first day, but then in the United States, it was like the first 3 or 4 days you could not get into a game unless you played at like 3 a.m. in the morning. Mm-hmm. Because the servers were just jammed because you could get it free pretty much for 14 days.
No, but I see. I don't think that's their fault though. I think
that's what I was saying.
Every game, yeah.
That's more. I would just say that's Xbox's fault because you needed Xbox Gold to play the game online, right?
Yeah.
And according to Xbox, all the money from Xbox Gold goes to the world's best gaming servers. And which is total BS, because if you had the world's best gaming servers, that wouldn't have happened.
Oh my goodness. the world's best gaming server. Oh my god. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't hate Xbox, but my experiences with Xbox and how glitchy and laggy and weird it is at times, I would not say it is the best servers or best experience. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so I mean it's a good. I would buy the game. It's honestly.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Great pickup. It's a great game.
Yeah, if like in a few years from now you're at EB Games and you can pick it up for like $30 or $20 because it's in like the used bin, then pick up a copy. It's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Or If you're that's the way I'm waiting for. Part of me is waiting for it to go over to Steam because it hasn't gone to Steam yet. Normally, it will go to Steam eventually, but you have to buy it from the Windows Store, and the Windows Store sucks. It's like the worst online store ever.
Well,
it's absolute garbage.
For me, I have easier accessibility because, as you said, I'm on Xbox, and you have your Xbox Game Pass that you can take a 14 free day trial. And no offense to Xbox, but their games on Xbox Game Pass suck.
Yeah, they're all 360 games.
Yeah, the only good one on there would be Sea of Thieves. So renew a 14-day free Game Pass. And the funny thing was, I've purchased so much stuff on the Xbox Live store. Xbox sent me a code that's like, here, have a free month of Xbox Game Pass. And it was like, this code expires June 24th, 2018. So it was good Sea of Thieves came out, and I used it, and I actually still haven't bought the game. I am still playing with my free trial of Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah. And that's actually one thing that I think it would be cool for game developers to do. If you could get a 2-day free trial as soon as the game came out, and then you wouldn't have, or you had to pay $10 before the game came out to get the free trial. But even if you just had a cheaper price, because people who pre-ordered Star Wars Battlefront 2 for $60, and then just get completely ripped off because of all the in-app purchases, that's why I don't pre-order a game unless I've watched people play the alpha or the beta and the reviews are amazing. Because I almost pre-ordered Roller Coaster Tycoon World, and that game. That game's total ass. That game sucks. I think it's $6 on Steam now.
Oh my gosh! $6?
It was yeah, it was $60 when it came out, and now it's $6.
Oh my goodness!
The game's still broken. It's out of early access, but it's totally broken. It's just screwed. If you bank a coaster in that game, for some reason it doesn't reset, so then you have to do an entire 360 rotation of the roller coaster before you can reset to 0. So if you want to have a nice banked curve, you have to spin the coaster all the way around in a circle.
Oh
and the people in the game just look like leaping babies. That's okay.
Also, just to say, Sea of Thieves, honestly, there's so many deals and so many just great things for their amazing game. It's not you're getting ripped off for the $80. There's so many ways to get a free trial added, or even there's this promotion at EB Games that if you bring in 3 used games on, they have this list online. If you go online, it's bring in one of these 3 games that you have and you don't use anymore, and you get Sea of Thieves for free. So 3 used games that you bought for maybe $50 each that would only sell for $10 now, trade them in for free Sea of Thieves. So it's a great pickup, great deals, so many deals for it. And honestly, the developers, the plans that they are trying to make with this game are amazing. They are really dedicated. They're not some crappy developers that are just in it for the money, just like EA. I like how we keep going back to EA. I like how we keep going back to EA.
Poor EA. But, EA brings it all on themselves. They're like Air Canada. They just don't really care that their PR is, awful at the moment. Yeah. So, for those of you who don't live in Canada, don't fly Air Canada. Fly WestJet. Air Canada's garbage. So now let's get into our world's dumbest topic, the world's dumbest criminals. And just reading the headlines, some of these people are absolutely stupid.
I can just imagine.
Okay, so number 1, robber gives a cashier his phone number.
Wait. That's it? So just a robber...
No, okay. In 2008, an 18-year-old wanted to rob a muffler shop in Chicago. Muffler. Yeah, I thought it was muffin shop for a second. Muffler shop in Chicago. He entered the store armed with a gun and demanded money, but there was a problem. Most of the money was in a safe, and only the manager could open it, and the manager wasn't in. He decided that he would try again later, so to save himself some time, he left his cell phone number with the store employees.
Oh my goodness.
That way they could call him if the manager returns. However, the employees called Chicago police. The police arrived and instructed the employees to call the robber. When the robber returned, the police were waiting for him, had a brief shootout, and the robber was arrested.
Oh my goodness.
Why?
Why? Yeah. What idea would you get put in your head that you're like, I'm gonna leave my phone number so they can call me back so I can come back and rob them later?
Oh, the robber's on the manager's not home? Okay, just here's my number. Call me back. I'll come take your money later.
Oh my goodness.
That could be like the nicest robber ever, though, too. Just like, huh?
Okay, no robber. I'm sorry to say. That could be the nicest robber. No robber is quote unquote nice. They're a robber. They've set themselves to come into your store, steal your money, and like with a gun, armed, and like threatening to harm people. Like, no.
Okay, here's number 6, the getaway donkey. One of the most important aspects of a successful robbery is securing a good getaway vehicle. A fast car.
We're riding a donkey.
A fast car or maybe a motorcycle would be a good choice. You know what is a good choice? A donkey.
Oh my goodness. So they thought it was a good idea to rob. Where were they robbing? Where were they robbing?
They were robbing 12 hours before the robbery. Plenty of time to look for a car, or really anything but a donkey. They decided to stick with the donkey. The heist went pretty well. It doesn't say where they robbed. Oh, they robbed a convenience store.
Oh my goodness.
They stole food and rum.
Oh my goodness. They thought it was a good idea to just walk up or ride
up on a donkey
out to the convenience store on a donkey, and they thought that was an inconspicuous getaway vehicle.
I mean, first of all, you draw so much suspicion riding up to a convenience store on a donkey.
Like, I think people would just call the police as like a disturbance call. Like,
yeah, or they'd be like
riding around on a donkey.
Riding around on a donkey. They loaded their goods into the donkey and prepared their escape.
Wait, into the donkey?
Well, like on like sacks on the side of the donkey.
Oh, okay.
Up to
like,
this point, the police
them shoving the food in the donkey's mouth. Oh my goodness.
Up to this point, the police were not even aware that the robbery had taken place. But the donkey started making so much noise that they attracted attention of some nearby officers. The robbers fled on foot, leaving the donkey alone on its course. And all the stolen
take the donkey?
No, all it says all the stolen goods went away with the donkey. The donkey ran into wild with all the goods.
Oh my goodness.
But they were arrested. Robbers warned target by phone. On March 23rd, 2010, Albert Bailey, an unnamed juvenile accomplice, decided to rob a bank in Fairfield, Connecticut. To streamline the procedure, Bailey called the bank in advance to let them know that they were coming to rob it, an intention that he was going to give them plenty of time to get the money ready so that two of them could just walk in, take the cash, and leave. Minutes after the phone call, Bailey sent his juvenile accomplice along with a note to eliminate confusion, perhaps. And if he walked in the bank and he's like, I'm the guy who called for the money, or I'm a different robber, I don't know. Meanwhile, the bank employee had the police on the phone and updated them about everything that was happening. The robbers demanded $100,000, but they settled for $9,900 less to be... Oh, wait. The robbers demanded $100,000, but they settled for $99,000 $100,100 less.
So they got $900.
Yeah. What? I want $100,000.
Those are dumb.
They walked.
$100,000.
They
I
walked.
can give you 900.
Sure, that's fine. That's fine. I gotta buy a My Little Pony for my daughter. That's why. They walked into the arms of the police and arrested both of them immediately without consent. They were charged with first-degree robbery and threatening first-degree. Bailey faced up to 9 years in prison. I mean, come on. Come on, people. Come on. The worst disguise ever. Here's number 1.
Please tell me he was dressed up as a donkey. He was dressed up as a donkey.
A good disguise obviously needs to hide your true identity. Furthermore, a good disguise needs to be inconspicuous so you can blend in with the crowd. The disguise chosen by Dennis Hawkins, a 48-year-old Pittsburgh man who decided to rob a bank, filled with both accounts. His disguise consisted of a woman's blonde wig, a pair of fake breasts, and clown pants.
Oh my goodness. Clown pants?
Yeah.
So he decided to dress up as a female clown.
Yeah. The first problem was that the getup revealed his face, which was captured on surveillance. You might guess that Mr. Hawkins wanted to fool the people by thinking he was a woman, in case he should be concerned of getting rid of his mustache and goatee. Oh my god. So his disguise was literally just a wig and fake breasts, but then he didn't shave his mustache or goatee.
Oh my goodness.
So, and I'm looking at a photo right here. Here, I'll text it to you. It's so dumb. He looks so dumb.
My goodness.
So if you were gonna, at least try to have a disguise, why would you not shave your goatee? Like, if you decided, hey, I'm gonna have a disguise, and it was this awful, like, a disguise should cover your face, so then they can't see your face on the camera. Like, honestly, did you get the picture?
No, but he wore a blonde wig. Wait, you said a clown dress too, right? You saw
clown
wearing
pants.
Clown pants would be a good idea. Oh, let's look at this guy. Oh my goodness! You can obviously tell it's a wig. You can see
it's so
from
you can see his hair like underneath the wig.
Oh my goodness! Oh my god!
The second problem was that the disguise was not exactly inconspicuous. Right after the police released a description to the public, a gas station attendant called to report somebody with a unique look trying to steal a car. And if it was a man or a woman, the gas station attendant did not know. When the police arrived, they found Hawkins covered in red paint from the dye pack exploding in his face. What? Post-robbery, he tried to mug a woman in a getaway car. He just ran off, taking the keys with him.
Sorry, say that again?
So, after the robbery, he tried to mug a woman and, like, take her cars.
Oh, my goodness.
So, he tried to, like, take the keys off of her and get in the car. Mm-hmm. But he took the keys off of her and then just ran away. So it's like, I got your keys, can't drive away now, and then just runs away. It's the dumbest thing ever.
My goodness.
Okay, well, everybody, that's the world's dumbest criminals on this episode of Are You Smart Spell It. That pretty much brings us to the end of the episode, everybody. So thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the episode. Thank you, Blake, again, for hosting the episode with me.
I mean, it felt good finally being able to film this after such a long time on a break in our inconsistencies that we'd like to work on, as you know.
Yeah, we haven't recorded an episode in like 4 weeks, so So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting Are You Smart Spell It. And remember that never lock yourself in a garage for 8 days.
Goodness.
And live off dog food and Pepsi.
Oh my goodness. I remember that.
Yep. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you in the next episode.